Hi everyone and welcome back to Left on Red, presented by Go Loud with me, Julie Haynes.
And me, Brenda.
How are you?
I'm all right. We're just trying to get a few tech issues sorted. You're in Dublin. I'm in London. I'm inside in a little cubby hole here at work on my lunch break next to the This Morning team, looking directly at the guys who are working this morning there now. So it's all go, but this is our first time doing it this way. And yeah, we're breathing. We'll get through it.
We'll get you. All I have to say is thank God I don't have to fix the computer side of it, because I actually haven't a clue. I know.
I was up and down there now. Actually, I've had issues with another laptop. That's a long story, but anyway. But it's kind of like meant to be, because the fella John there who was trying to sort the laptop for me anyway, I'm having a bit of a moment with him. I think I'm after falling in love with him. So
he's like
he's really tall. He's on 7 foot. Yeah. So yeah, he's very handsome. Yeah, and he's kind of like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Brenda." And he's like,
so did you just go
really
get this
name.
randomer and like help me with?
Yeah, kind of. See, I've issues with a laptop, long story, and I was trying to get other people to sort it. Someone said go to this John guy. Oh my God, if John is listening to us. Anyway, I went into John, barged in with John and a few other lads, and they were like, "What the hell is this one doing in here?" And then I tried to get another laptop sorted, and someone else said go back to John, so I barged into John again.
Is he
So
like
John's
IT or something?
John's getting it for me. He's a bit of a senior, John, but he's really hot, yeah. So,
Hi,
John.
He's getting
Hi,
it.
John.
Go on, girl.
Yeah, how was your week?
I'd born an off week, actually. Didn't do a whole lot. Just driving the twins around here, there and everywhere. Just being mom's taxi, story of my life. But other than that, oh, come here, wait till I tell you. You know, I was left on red three times I'd say this week. I think I'm actually being catfished again.
Which one do you think you've been catfished by?
So I met this guy on Tinder. We matched like during the week and we were chatting away anyways. And next thing I came to, I was just starting to get a bit iffy. I was like, this guy is, he's too good to be true, like. So I said, come here, are you on Instagram or Facebook or something? And all of a sudden he was like, yeah, are you? And I said, yeah, I am. I goes, what's your username? I'll add you there. And he goes, what's yours? I'll add you. So I knew that I was like, this fella's playing games. So I goes, you know full well. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm being catfished again on Tinder.
You have a bit of a trend to get catfished on Tinder, to be fair. Let's be fair, you do.
Let's be fair, exactly. But you know what? I have a feeling it's a troll. Did I ever tell you the story? Just before Gareth Brooks, I matched with this guy on Tinder.
Just hold on now. Did you just call him Gareth Brooks?
Was that his name?
It's Garth.
Garth.
Yeah, it's Garth. There's no E in it. But anyway, you have a spelling later on for are you smarter than your 5-year-old? So I hope you remember how to spell Tormelinos. But anyway, go on. I can't remember this story about the catfish. I can't remember that. Tell me.
So me and my mum were going to Gareth Brooks. And all that week I was chatting to this guy and he was so lovely, like, and we're just chatting about normal stuff, like, And next thing, I always remember we were in the Groves in Blackpool and I texted him and I was like, are you on social media or something like that? And he was like, no. And all of a sudden I was getting red flags and I was like, all right, John. He was like, why? And I was like, I was just wondering. He's like, what are you up to? And I was like, oh, I'm on the way to Garth Brooks with my mum. And he's like, oh, brilliant. Went to the concert and I came out and he was after matching me. So that was grand. Anyway, I was like, all right, your man is weird. Took no notice. Then... Yeah. Right, listen to this. A couple of days later, I got a message off a weird, like, username on Instagram and said something like, we call your man that I was after matching with, John Murphy. How's John Murphy?
Oh, wow.
I don't know, was my troll on Tinder looking for me?
That is too much of a coincidence. But like the effort of setting up the account and everything like that, and like, would you be setting it up and then going looking that hard for you? I suppose if they were in Carrigaline, for example,
or just Cork,
and they were looking for you, they could. But no, but I'm saying they could put the mileage down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you could actually buy. Like, I remember living in Australia. And I actually went for Tinder Plus, whatever it was called, and I went back to Cork. I want to see who was single in Cork, do you know? Even though I was out in Perth.
Of course.
But like, I'm telling you now, it was the weirdest and most randomest thing that ever happened to me.
So you have a trend of getting catfish like me as well. So there's been 3 this week. I just need to ask, is there something you said? Is it all just like I'm asking you about your social media? What's the trend? How's it happening?
As soon as I ask that, it's like they go cold turkey. It's like they're gone. I'm like, come here, like, you're not that old. They're not in their 90s that wouldn't have social media.
I know.
They're in their early 30s. Like, I'm like, what the... Like, no, eh?
Well, I've been left on red as well by the all-American fella, and I think I'm going to have to message him myself again. You know, the cringe time when you actually double message them? I think I'm going to do that. Because I was delighted with Live, because I do like a bit of American. I was thinking, you know, I'd like a proper loud American, right?
Yeah.
And then I matched this guy, and he was like California, and he works for the government. He's an attorney, lawyer, whatever, solicitor. And then he kind of came out and he goes, oh, I actually live in California. And I was like, well, that's fucking pointless anyway, isn't it? But then I was kind of like, do you know what? I'll just meet him anyway before he goes back.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, you never know. Listen, we all know I want to go to New York. Might be good for a green card.
Yeah.
People do marry for green cards.
De facto. Yeah, I know. Come here, I've seen it out in Australia plenty of times.
Yeah, so I'll see now. I'm going to double text. All right, see you here on Friday night, because I'll be out anyway and I'll be all dressed up. Yeah, so my other news, I had an update on Love Island anyway. So I spoke to one of the editors, one of the bosses anyway, and I got on so well. And while I won't be going off to Mallorca this summer, there's other projects in the plan. So it was a very positive outcome. And anyway, I don't want to be going off to Mallorca now because I have too much on this summer. And as well, the bikini body is not ready. Do you know when you're just not feeling it?
Yeah.
Do you know every January, do you get into the mood where like I'm going to be looking unreal now in the summer?
Every January, or even September now is the new thing for me, because it's like the kids go back to school and I'm getting back to some sort of routine. So that's like another January for me, September and January. Then I'm like, reset. Yeah, it's my reset.
Yeah, my new one is now, no, I'll get right and fit now for November, and then I'll go off to the Winter Love Island and I'll look really, really good then.
Did he want me on it?
So that's all my, what, will I be on it?
No, does he want me on it?
Does he want you on it? I'd say no, you be a pensioner. You be in the older one. You be in the other one. Although I did suggest 2 people from Cork for it, because he was like, if you have any suggestions for this series, Love Island Bombshells. So I've actually told him of 2 Cork bombshells who I'm going to keep totally anonymous. I'm not going to say, but like they would be amazing. So I'm actually in the meantime scouting people. I actually really like it. Someone suggested someone, and you know what? She didn't reply to one of my messages before, and I messaged her. I goes, nah, I'm not giving her the side of it.
Yeah,
you know, people are going to have to be really nice if they want to try and get on.
And when you were saying that to me, that I had somebody really, an Irish girl as well. Remember, I said that name to you, and you were like, she'd be unreal, but now she's with somebody. I feel like messaging her and be like, break up with your man there for a while, girl.
Well, people do that all the time. They break up with people all the time and just go on it.
I tell you, I nearly do it myself.
I know. So yeah, that was my story and everything. But come here, we got such a huge reaction from the Morning After Pill story. Like, who knew that there'd be so many people contacting us about it?
Oh my God,
You're not pregnant anyway, I take it, no?
No, because after the Morning After Pill, my God, Brenda, did it ever happen to you that when you get your period?
Yeah, but come here, whenever I get my period, it is so welcome. You've no idea. It's a joyous moment every month.
It's a little celebration, but my God, your period after the Morning After Pill is a different ball game altogether. It's
do they say though that that's kind of nearly a false one though? No?
Oh, don't be talking now like that.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's not. You see, it's different for you because you probably wouldn't mind children, whereas everyone knows that I really don't want them. But you know what ones are the worst?
Yeah.
You know, the electronic ones where you wee on it.
Is that the one where it tells you how many weeks you're pregnant?
Yeah, and it flashes for like a good minute and you don't see anything. Whereas I prefer the one that you wee on the stick, you know, the way, and you see the cross or you see the minus.
Yeah.
I like that one. But I remember I did one years ago and it was negative, right? So I was delighted. So I kept it as an ornament, right, for myself, an ornament, whatever, souvenir. And I would like look at it from time to time and go, yes, not pregnant, right? Then listen to this. I remember bringing it out when I was drying my hair, and I bring it out when I was drying my hair. And didn't the fucking blue line, didn't they kind of, like the marker of it, it kind of, what's the word?
Leaked.
Yeah. And it turned into a plus. So then when I was like naked drying my hair and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to, so I had to rush and get another one.
But sorry, how many weeks after is this now?
I know, it's like nearly a month, but I'm not a month. God, June, I'm having phantom pregnancies every week.
I know.
Every week. Yeah. And like there's other people I know who are having them too.
But talk about those pregnancy tests, right? I remember just, you know what it was? For me, was telling my mom I was fucking pregnant because then she knew I did the deed. I was so embarrassed. Do you know how I done it? I never forget it. I was out in Australia and I rang my mom and I was like, Mom. She's like, are you alright? And I was like, I never got the pee. I couldn't say it. I never got my pee, I said. And my mom was like, what does that mean? I was like, I never got my pee. And she was like, pee? And she's like, penis. And I was like, no. This is me and my mom's conversation. Pee? I don't know what. got all dry mouth and everything. I was like, I can't tell her that I'm pregnant because she knows I'm like, fuck's sake, the stuff like, she's like, pee, what does that mean? Penis? And I was like, no, you know the thing that pee, the other pee. And she was like, Julia, period. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, she was a lady, like absolutely weak. But like, yeah, that's how I told my mum. So random.
Never got the pee. Would you call it Auntie? Some people call it Auntie.
I call it Auntie Mary.
Yeah, I call it Tom.
Yeah.
Time
of your
one.
mood, is it?
Speaking of people who needed morning after pills, you got so many messages.
Oh my
stories.
God. My phone, both our phones absolutely blew up about this. So one of the messages I got was actually from a teacher. And she goes, hi girls, love the podcast. I'm a teacher. So.
Oh my God, hold on. Do you know who's just after messaging me this minute? Oh my God.
Your man, the Tinder man.
The fucker over in Israel. Oh my God. 2 voice messages just came up on my phone. I'm actually shocked. Oh my God. What is it? He must be back from Israel. Jesus Christ, I won't eat for a week now. Oh my God, he must be back. He was in Israel filming this thing. I thought I'd never hear from him again. Oh my God, that American who? Oh my God. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Hi, come here. I better be getting my pee if I meet him. Go on. Do you know how much I was stalking him, right? He was putting nothing up on his page, right? And obviously I stalk on Winston's account, my dog account. So then he did share something one time and I was like, who's this? It was the makeup artist who was working on the show. So I was stalking her
was she good
every
looking?
day. And then I was convinced he's sleeping with her.
But was she good looking?
She's probably around 50. And I was like, he's into older
it.
women. And I was like, oh, he's with her now. And who's she? And obviously she's going to be looking to see her story views. And she's going to see this little red dachshund walkies with Winston watching her. But like, they're all getting a stalk on Winston with Winston. But anyway, sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
Right. Hi girls, love the podcast. I'm a teacher, so we went out one Thursday night and I ended up, with a winky face. Woke up the next morning and had to go to work with the world's worst hangover, girls. Pharmacies weren't open before school, so I had to pretend to my principal that I had a very bad hay fever and could I run to the chemist at break time. She said, no problem. So I flew down to the chemist and asked for the emergency contraceptive, trying to sound posh. The lady said, no bother, head into this room and the pharmacist will be in when they are free. So in walks the pharmacist and I'm face to face with the parent of a child I'm teaching. To make it worse, girls, when he gave it to the lady at the till for me to pay, he whispered, there'll be no charge for her. I wanted to die. Yeah, I think that was brilliant.
Do you know what happened to me there now? The internal dialogue would be going mad. I wouldn't be able. I'd probably have to talk to her and be like, "Listen, I'm not. He's my boy." I'd have to.
You'd be explaining yourself. When you're explaining, you're losing.
I would have foot and mouth with her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able because I'm lethal like that. Oh, I'm mortified. I got another one right.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny, hilarious. I was like, this is like something now that would probably happen to me. Hi Brenda, just listening to the podcast. I remember years ago I had to get the morning after pill from my brother as he had a one night stand and she wasn't on anything. I remember it was August, bank holiday weekend, and I had to go to Care Doc, similar to South Doc, to get it. I knew he was being nice to me, he needed something, but wasn't expecting this as he's the most sensible out of the siblings, or so we thought. He's married now and asked me never to mention it because he and my sisters would slag him over it. To make it worse, the doctor was like, take it now in front of me. And I was like, no, I'll wait till I get home, I'll be fine. Knowing my brother was waiting for me outside. Yeah.
The stuff we do, like, same with this girl.
I know.
This poor creator, right? Years ago, girls, school going age, I went into a different doctor's office. Didn't want to go to my own doctor because I'd been mortified. So I was at the reception and the receptionist was asking loads of questions. Is it an emergency, etc. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be here otherwise. Saucy 17-year-old head up on top of me. Are you experiencing any pain? No, she says. Is it keeping you awake at night? It did last night. Which tooth is it? She replied. Me, absolutely purple, girls. Hadn't I walked into the dentist rather than the doctor's office, I'm still cringe to this day.
Oh my God. Well, I've another one here. It's not morning after pill. No, it's about Viagra, right? So, hi girls, absolutely love the podcast. Speaking of the morning after pill and all that, let me tell you about the time I gave my friend a Viagra pill and her boyfriend ended up in A&E over me. Basically, the two of them were going out for a couple of months, but as we all know, it's common, her fella couldn't get an erection. He refused to go to the doctor to help the situation. And anyway, I'd gotten my hands on some Viagra myself. Long story short, I never got rid of it. And when my friend came to me upset about her fella not being able to perform, I remembered I had one and I offered it to her. He was a little resistant at first to take it, but she slowly talked him into it. However, as I waited for her call to fill me in the next day, I got the shock of my life. Didn't he end up in A&E? His heart started racing like mad after taking the Viagra, and they rushed him to the regional in Limerick. They thought he was getting a heart attack. Thank God all turned out okay in the end. However, I will never ever forget the panic when she told me. P.S. They ended soon after that, so the deed was never done.
Oh my God, imagine that taking
Yeah. And now obviously Viagra you can get over the counter as well, so that was in the time when you couldn't get it, so it was a big thing. And I think as well that doctors wouldn't be giving it to people either.
Another girl there just messaging and she was like, hi girls, love the podcast. I work in a pharmacy and a girl came into me one morning to get the morning after pill in her PJs. The guy was still in her bed and she didn't know how to get rid of the fucker. Okay, Brenda, moving on to our dilemma. I'm after getting one into the Left on Red Instagram page. So it reads, hi girls, love the podcast. I've a dilemma which I'm hoping you can help. Me and a few of my girlfriends were out on a night out a while back. At the end of the night, me and my best friend got home and one of my girlfriend's husband messaged me on Snapchat telling me how good I looked. Initially, I thought it was a joke, he's drunk, etc. But as days went on, started to make me feel a bit weird. I spoke to my best friend. Turns out she had received some messages also. Thing is, we are super close to his wife and we obviously have never messaged him back. We decided between us that we would never tell her. Turns out it happened again and he sent a few messages. This time when I went to screenshot them, he had deleted them. We then met them out for dinner. All our husbands are great friends. This guy has a bit of a past with cheating. So do we say nothing and forget about it or say something? Please, girls, keep me anonymous.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Let's put ourselves in this girl's shoes, right? You're with John, I'm with Mark, we're out for dinner. Myself and Mark went home, Mark texted you look really well tonight, Brenda. Would you tell me?
You see, do you know the way I'm all about the messenger always gets shot and all that kind of stuff, you know? And I think it's the girlfriend, sometimes finds it really hard to believe all that. I think if it was the likes of you, who would have no problem approaching, right, because we're really good friends, I would have to tell you. And I'd probably screenshot the message rather than ring up and tell you. I'd be like, Julie, if I was with you, I'd be like, I just need to show you something.
Yeah, I had proof
that way. Whereas I remember a girl I'm friends with and her fella, I don't know why I ended up dropping him home, but I was alone with him in the car, whatever. And do you know what? I'm not one of these girls. You could throw me into a room with any man who's going out with anyone and I wouldn't go near them. There's certain girls who I know as well, I wouldn't trust them going into the room with my fella. I know that means I mightn't trust my fella, but there's a certain someone who did that to me before. I'd actually have to ask him after, did she try it on with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's certain girls who are like that.
Yeah.
But depends on the friend, but I think I would. But that actually the guy who I was driving home, I remember him putting his hand on my leg.
Oh, and he was with somebody.
Yeah, and he's going out with my friend. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell, we'll call her Virginia, right? And I was like, come here, what's that story? I was going to tell Virginia about this. And he was like, well, sure, nothing happened. I didn't tell Virginia because there was no proof. But if it was a message, I'd have to. And come here, as I said to you before, I'd be getting messages there from fellas, just like having the crack, whatever. But they'd be saying things like that and then they'd be unsending them.
Oh, yeah, I see, that's sneaky, yeah.
And again, I wouldn't be that good friends with the person. And I haven't told them only because I'm not that good friends with the missus.
Yeah, I know.
And then you're destroying something and you're like, is it harmless? I don't know. Some people do see all of that as cheating. That's how I feel in it. What about you?
Again, if I put myself in that girl's shoes and it happened, like we said, between me and you, I think I would tell you, yeah. But again, I'd like to have some bit of proof. But I'm the type of person then that, and I said this to you before, I'd be like, but Brenda, were you doing anything now to lead him on? Do you know that kind of way at the back of my mind?
Yeah.
Was Brenda doing something there now to lead him on? Do you know, was she kind of looking at him in a sexy way or whatever, you know? Why did he do? You know yourself now, so many things be going through your brain. It's so hard. But yeah, I think if you're really, really good friends with her, I would tell her.
Yeah, and if you weren't such good friends with her?
No, No, I don't think
you
so,
wouldn't.
yeah.
You
No.
wouldn't, because and anyway he'd manipulate you anyway, thinking he'd manipulate her anyway.
He'd turn it
think,
around on me or turn it around
turn
on
it
you,
around.
yeah.
And then you know how bizarre, like, some of us women, like, believe things, you know. You'd be like, oh, that's a fake account. She set that up and everything. Like, I've fallen for that stuff, like, we'll say 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Do
same.
you know what I mean? Like,
You're
I would have
lying to
been like,
yourself.
because I wanted to believe him and trust him, you know. I remember one fella, actually, I was at, this is terrible. It's a fella who actually ghosted me in London when I was going for 3 years. But anyway, I remember being at a wedding with him, and it was his aunt's wedding, and it was in Clarny, in the Clarny Heights, and there was another girl, and she was kind of, you know, she's someone I wouldn't trust in the same room as my fella if I wasn't there. And anyway, blame on him now big time as well. I never forget, I was going back to his place, we'll say like 10 minutes out the road in Clarny, and they actually went off in the taxi with her.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, I was staying at his house, and I remember getting a taxi back to his. I'll never fucking forget it. Going back on the road, I was steaming, but like I was like, oh my God, what the hell? I remember going into his house, and he's sitting there on the couch with her. But no, there was nothing going on.
Yeah.
But obviously something was going on before I was in there. But he totally made me believe, oh, she followed me and everything like that. He went back in the taxi with her, but you see, that's how easily it's done. You'll believe what you want to believe for the sake of the relationship.
You would. And like, I was at a wedding there recently as well, and this fella kept kind of giving me the eye, as in, you know, I want you kind of an eye, like whatever. And I was like, and he was handsome, absolutely handsome. So I went out to the bathroom, and when I came out, your man was standing outside, and he was like, do you want a drink? And I was like, kind of playing hard to get. Then I was like, oh, I'll see you there later. I'm grand for her now. Thanks very much though. So then after maybe an hour or two, I went up to the bar, and Harry was up behind me. He was like, I'll get you a drink now. And I was like, no, you're actually grand. I'm getting a few drinks for the girls and stuff. He's like, I'll get them. He paid for all the drinks now. So lovely. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is the fella. This is my future husband.
Married?
And literally in my head, I was married. Next thing, he turned around to me and goes, you're the best looking girl here. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, thanks so much. This time now I'm weak for your man. And he's like, but don't tell my girlfriend. I go, sorry. He goes, yeah, that's my girlfriend down there sitting at the table. Yeah. But I didn't know he was with his girlfriend, because, you know, at a wedding you're sitting with loads of young couples or whatever. I just thought they're all friends. I hadn't a clue. His fucking girlfriend sitting there, and he's up buying me drinks and all the girls.
And I bet you didn't tell her.
No, I didn't. I didn't even know her anyway. Like, he pointed her out, and I was like, you are a fucking animal. I took the drinks. I was like, thanks for the drinks. Good luck.
What's that about then? Is it kind of like some dopamine hit or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
For the man.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Like,
But like, listen, not to say us women, like, there's
are any better,
like,
like,
do it as well.
Yeah.
So any of the listeners, we love our good listener interaction. Please get in touch on either of our Instagram pages, or else the Left on Red Instagram page, which is Left on Red Pod 22, and then our email is leftonredpod22@gmail.com, because we'd love to know your thoughts on our dilemma this week. So anyway, last week, Jules, you know the way poor Alfionn Bad Mom Award goes to.
Yeah.
I think we should have like a Bad Mom Award as well.
Oh, we definitely should. Yeah, we should. Yeah.
And like, you're the queen of the bad mom. You are the queen. But anyway, so Fionn was really sick from school, but you were thinking that he was trying to DOS, right? Okay. And I mentioned how I remembered like doing stunts to get out of school. And it's so funny now today, because I do have a really sore throat. And I said to one of the girls I work with earlier, I said, come here, if I was on contract here now, I wouldn't be here today. But the fact that I'm freelance, you don't show up, you don't get paid. So you can be damn sure I'm here. I'll crawl into work now when you're based a freelance, when you're getting paid that way. But anyway, I got some hilarious replies, right? Some people went so far with trying to get off school. One girl actually got her tooth pulled. She says, remember years ago, my younger sister, she hated school, told my ma she had a toothache. So my ma brings her to the dentist, and the dentist was taking her tooth out. She actually didn't even have a toothache. She made it up. She ended up having to get 5 stitches because the root of her tooth was hooked. They didn't take x-rays in the back then. To make it worse, she hadn't got a toothache at all. Just didn't want to go to school. It's still a running joke when we were all together. She was 8 or 9 or so at the time. She's 40 now. So she actually got her tooth pulled.
How
just
though?
to go to school.
Just going to the dentist.
She obviously probably pointed out which tooth was really sore.
Oh, and then like they just.
And then the dentist took it out. Imagine that. I know someone, and they actually ended up saying that they had really bad stomach pains as well, and they ended up in hospital for 3 days.
Oh my God. Like,
yeah. Talk about taking up hospital beds. Yeah. What's some of yours?
This poor creator, she was like, girls, I went on the hop from school, and next thing the phone rang. Who was on the phone? Fucking cash call. Do you remember the cash call on 96?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you ever do that, the cash call? Were you working there?
Well, obviously I couldn't, because I couldn't enter because I was working there, and
Yeah, just explain there quickly because obviously you work there.
Cash Call anyway is basically on 96 FM.
A local Cork
and other
radio
radio
station.
stations as well.
Yeah.
They call out a number in the hour and it could say number 15 for this hour, but like you'd have to be listening. There was like random phone numbers then, and the radio station would pick one phone number, say Mary Murphy down in Crookhaven, and they'd ring Mary Murphy and they'd say like, this is 96 FM, and they'd be like, Mary, have you got the cash call? Mary might have been listening, Mary might not have been listening. She might say number 51. Mary win €1,000.
Yeah, so the cash call rang her and hung her out to dry when she answered, and she should have been in school.
That is brilliant. She probably lost $1,000.
Probably, yeah. I actually have to message her back, see if she knew the number.
Oh my God, I have another one here. Someone said to get out of school, they said they got bit by a rat on the way to school. Like
bit by a rat.
Bit by a rat. Imagine going into school and have to get bit by a rat. Like bit by a dog or something, but a rat.
A rat, no thanks.
This is another one. In primary school, a boy I know ate crayons to make himself vomit and go home.
Oh God, he ate crayons.
Yeah, I remember for some reason, I used to put crayons up my nose.
Brenda.
I know. And then there was another, I remember putting crayons up my nose, right? And my mother was like, what are you doing? And then I used to eat sand as well. Do you ever eat sand?
No, I never ate sand there now, no.
I am going to be a virgin from now on, from 38 till I die. I am never getting it because the stuff I'm coming up between the farts last week, crayons up my nose and eating sand. Anyway, go on.
This girl here says, oh my God, girls, do I have one for ye? We went on the hop the day before junior start and robbed a keg. We had to roll past our year's head house and down the field and went into most exams drunk for a few days after. It worked out well though because I done better than I would have if I was fucking sober. Imagine rolling a keg like, oh my God.
I've one more here and this one came in a lot actually. Put the old mercury thermometer into a cup of tea and explode it. No day off.
Yeah.
That was, people put that in. Yeah. I never did that. And another one as well.
Put it up to the lamp.
Under the eyes. Vicks under the eyes.
Oh yeah, to burn the eyes so your eyes look heavy and whatever. Another one actually with the thermometer or whatever it's called. They used to put it up to the lamp just to heat it up.
Yes.
So it would go through.
Yes.
And I got another couple there just saying that they used to put Knorr soup into the toilet with mashed up vegetables and pretend they vomited.
Wow, that's a good concoction.
That's good, isn't it? Like
that's a good concoction. There's just one more here. I was able to make my nose bleed, so I pretended I had a headache so bad that my nose was bleeding to get home from school.
Come on, they're absolute crazy people out there. Yeah. We were crazy.
So thanks again. Well, if there's anyone actually who's eating sand or stuck crayons up their nose, let me know. Jesus Christ. Right, are you ready? Speaking of spellings, right, and words, thermometer, you're not even going to be able to spell that. It's time for... Are you smarter than your 5-year-olds? Okay, number 1. How many pints in a goal in GAA?
3.
Yes. Proud of you.
Yes.
Spell Termalinos. Or as you say, Terminalios. Don't spell it Terminalios, but spell it the proper way.
Oh, Termilios. No, gone.
You're doing Terminalios.
Termalilos. I can't even say it. Tormil.
Nah. Torr. It's like Torre. Torre. Molinos.
Okay.
Right, okay. Since you are a bit of a jet setter, you should get this one. Where would you be if you were standing on the Spanish steps?
Rome.
Yes.
I was there in February. I was on those steps in February.
I know. See, I'm trying to be good to you as well. I don't want to make you look too stupid, right?
Okay, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Oh, that's a song,
right,
isn't it?
So
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Is that a song, no?
What street does the British Prime Minister live on?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Does he have a red door? Does he have some special door, no?
Where's the red door coming from?
Give me a small clue. What does it begin
with?
Downing Street.
Yeah, that's a clue. You're not getting it because you think he's a red door. So, right, we're still saying 3. 3
and a half.
3
and a half.
Final one, right? How many counties in Munster? I've made them easy for you.
5.
No, 6.
6. Oh, I knew that. 6.
Oh, you did, yeah. Yeah, I love that. I knew that. Clare, Cork, Kerry, Limerick, Tip and Waterford.
Oh,
yeah.
Christ.
Do you think you've scored someone from each of those counties, actually?
I say I could have, all right, yeah.
How many do you think? I said that to you before. Do you think you've shifted over 100 people?
Yeah.
I remember we used to go to the Highland Market and we used to shift around 12 fellas on a night. It was like competition.
Oh, sure, we were Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those
that was
teenage
like
discos are bad, dangerous, like weren't they?
Oh yeah, we'll have to. You know what? We'll have to do a chat because actually we should do something next week if anyone has any stories about like GA discos or school discos or anything like that. Because when I was at home in Ballydesmond last week, I found the outfit I wore to my first ever disco. I kept it.
Brenda, did you keep the crayons as well? You put up your nose.
There's plenty of crayons at home, yeah. But yeah, I did, and like I thought I was so sexy. So if anyone has any good,
wear it. The next time you're at home, put it on. Put it on.
It still fits, and I still have my school uniform. I kept all that stuff. Nostalgia. I don't know who I'm going to hand it down to, Winston. But anyway, so my ick of the week this week. Do you know what it was? And I don't know, does any other people feel this now? It's nothing to do with any hairdressers at home, right? But when I was going getting my highlights done, sometimes when I go to the hairdressers, right, this same hairdressers, I waited nearly half an hour for an appointment one day, and I said nothing. I said absolutely nothing. Then I was 10 minutes late. I think it was 7 minutes late for this appointment. They were ringing me at 5 past. Where was I?
Yeah.
Where was I? That annoys me because I've said nothing to you, barely apologised to me for a half an hour late. And then when I'm 5 minutes late, you're calling me, annoys me. That's my ick of the week. Big ick.
That's a good one. That's actually a very good one. My one is just being catfished. I know we're speaking about catfish today and it's just so annoying. Why are people making up all these stupid dating profile pictures and accounts when they have no interest?
Yeah. And then I have a few here from suggestions from people as well, because everyone gets an ick of the week and let us know what yours are. But I have one here, skinny jeans on men. I don't find that too bad.
I don't find it bad either. I don't mind a fella in a skinny jean.
No, this one I would kind of get it right. So I tell you, we've some fucking hilarious followers. My husband in his white robe saying he's exhausted and thinks he'll have a nice bath.
I know, his white rope.
White robe, like as in a bath.
Fuck off.
What do you call it? A bathrobe? Do you call it what?
Dressing gown.
Dressing gown.
I call
a house coat. I don't like the house coat thing.
What do you call it? I call it dressing gown.
Dressing gown.
Dressing gown as well.
Yeah, dressing gown. House coat's a bit fancy. It's a fucking dressing gown.
It's a dressing gown.
Yeah.
My husband gives me the fucking ick, girls. That came in a couple of times.
Shouldn't have married him.
Yeah. Loud chewing was another one.
That's a big one, isn't it? I think I do that actually.
Oh, Brenda, you're the world's worst. We went for lunch there last week. I had to tell you to calm down with the chewing.
I know, Julia, I don't notice. My mother said it to me too.
To she over the weekend. You were cat.
See, I'm going to always use this excuse. I have really bad hearing.
Do you?
No, I do. I swear I get your problems at my ear, so I use that for everything, like loud chewing, loud in person, loud everywhere, loud.
You could hear
But I can hear when I want to then. If I hear something, I'm like,
selective hearing.
Yeah,
I know. But yeah, you are quite loud.
So I'll be mindful the next time we're eating, all right?
Please do.
Before we go anyway, we're still doing our show on the 25th. We've two amazing guests who we will mention in the next few pods. But it's on the 25th of August. We've our live podcast with the Cork Podcast Festival. And there's tickets are still available online. If you just put in Left on Red Cork Podcast Festival, you'll find the tickets there. So please, we would love to meet you. And Jewel, isn't it going to be wild?
What? Oh my God, what we have lined up, it's just a cracker. It's a cracker.
Like energy. It's going to be, you're just going to come out. You know when you get that high of a laugh and we're going to be asked to tour around nursing homes and places. Just like for the crack, just to entertain people, you know?
Yeah.
We want to be hired with the nursing homes. We want to dance. So yeah, thanks to everyone for listening. If you want to contact us, our podcast email is leftonredpod22@gmail.com. You both know about our Instagram handles, Brenda's Bits and
Twins on Me.
And then our Left on Red Pod Instagram page as well. So for me in London,
and me in Dublin, Julie.
We will chat to you next week. Bye.
Bye guys. Bye.